More in this series of the what to build. Running through the 8 sets in standard. This is 8 set standard, all large sets. I love it. I want to build a ton of constructed decks with a fixed selection, which is not fixed yet because I haven't cracked a whole box of M21 and a pseudo box of 12 packs each of the Ravnica 3 sets, which is something that I definitely want to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to add any more. I want to keep some of those Ravnica 3 packs. Ravnica 3 sets packs for later. So if we look through red, I really want to build a Fires of Invention. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's banned, but this is a cube. I can do whatever I want. It's my kitchen table, if you will. Experimental Frenzy, Fires of Extinction. I forget the exact name. It got banned. It's from Throne, and so that's one deck. I really want to build around this thing. And I have two. I think I have another one, but either way, I have these two. Then of course there's the red deck wins with Cavalcade of Calamity with the one drop from M20, which I also have, and I did buy singles enough to have a playset of this wonderful card, really good card. Then there's also a Goblins deck, definitely a Goblins deck with Goblin Gathering, one of the key pieces, and Krenko. It can be. I'm not sure if it can be turned into a commander deck. I don't think so. Not with 8-set standard. I don't think so. I'm gonna think about it. Comments, of course, as always, and you can write comments these days. So yeah, a bunch of goblins. Some come from Boros, but really it's a goblin deck. And that's all that I can really think of for red. There's a non-creature spell mono-red deck that can be built. I've actually built it with this card. It's not exactly red deck wings. I'm not sure. This is a little bit like a Johnny, where a Johnny can be a cat, can be a life gain deck. Not sure. It's one of those maybes. But definitely I'm going to dig up more of this card. I'll probably pull some more out of the 12 packs that I plan to pull. And these two cards are in that deck. Yeah, I'm going to call that a deck and think about it. I'm going to call that a deck and think about it. Of course, there's a mass. We already talked about that. Yeah, so yeah, there's let's run them through. So really, for red, there's some sort of a non-creature red plus that doesn't really care about Izzet or Izzet cards at all. It's really focusing on, it is blue-red, but it's probably not going to have any dual color cards at all. So no Izzet theme, if you will. So Experimental Frenzy, Cavalcade of Calamity, red deck wins, goblins. I'm looking at my sheet. Yeah, I did write them down. Yeah, I write them down. So I wrote them down as Experimental Frenzy, non-creature spells, red plus, goblins, and red deck wins. Yep, that's it. Then in the case of green, we have a lot of things that we've talked about already. So there's definitely a Proliferate deck. Goodies. Yeah, Proliferate for sure. And then this guy, I think this guy is probably going to go in every single green deck, regardless of guild or theme or whatever. So, and there's also more Proliferate goodies. There's also just a Beasts deck. And of course, this is the signal failure of Theros 2, in my opinion. I really, even though I eventually will buy a box of that set, I find many opportunities to call it a bad set, because I can come up with themes from the Ravnica 3 sets that are monocolored, none of which would ever care that there was a set with Devotion in 8-set standard. And I think that's a shame. That calls for very poor collaboration between whoever designed Theros 2 and everybody else. And I don't know who to blame because I wasn't there, but somebody screwed up. Because as you've seen, I've run through the 5 colors, and not once have I said, oh, and this theme definitely goes well with Devotion. It does not. It does not. You can have really good monocolor decks that don't care about Devotion in a standard that has Devotion. That's a shame. So to summarize, big critters. There was also I think there's also a Gates Matter deck. I had it in blue. I also have it in green. Looking at my sheet as we speak. Green Beasts, Gates Matter, yeah, and then things that we have already talked about for green. So nothing really super additive besides a really good beast deck. Ikoria really helps that deck. Okay, so I would call that maybe like it's a deck where you would try to have lots of tokens so you can mutate over them. Okay, so that's those. Then more green goodies. Yes, I think I'll probably pull one out of the 12 packs of Ravnica 3. So yeah, proliferate, goodies. This card I completely bombed on understanding how it worked. I can't believe I did that. It's completely busted, and I'll have to complete it to a place that I already have two. I hope to pull at least one more, and if not, I'll just get it as it rotates. Again, these are all sets that will rotate in a couple of months. I gotta get 3 more of this guy for sure. So yeah, and of course he'll go in its proper theme Simic deck. So no new unique themes that I can think of, except ones that I've already mentioned, or are monocolor and not on devotion. This guy is great for counters. Yeah, this one too. So although wolf or werewolf, and I'm not sure that theme was developed, so this card I don't know where it fits, but I know this guy is really good and I've used him. And I'll stop right there.